What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jordan. Joining me today, I got the homie Grant. What's up, Grant? We got rapper extraordinaire. We got Don with us. What's up, Don?
What's going on?
And we have your favorite music critic. We got Tommy with us today. What's up, Tommy?
What's up?
The strongest Posse member. Strongest Discord member.
And today we will be doing a devil fruit draft. That means we'll be picking the best devil fruits. Each of us will get 5 picks. That's a total of 20 fruits picked. And we will basically be drafting and thinking in terms of, do I want this fruit? Like, I would want these fruit to be on my crew if I was traveling in One Piece. Now, the only rules are, as of right now, is that we're not going to allow the Nika Nika fruit. Which, if you don't know what that is, then you don't know what that is. But we're not allowing that fruit as of right now. When you pick a fruit, you're basing it on its peak, so to speak. So basically, everything you've seen a fruit be able to do in a show, you would assume that if a person got that fruit, they will be able to do the exact same things. So keep that in mind. Also, the most important rule is that you cannot pick more than 2 fruits in the same category. So that means you cannot have 3 Logia on your team. You cannot have 3 Zoans on your team. You can't have 3 Paramecia. The cap is at 2. So if you have 2 fruit from one category, that means you can't pick a fruit from any other category. So from that same category. So those are the rules. No Nika Nika fruit. Pick the best version of that fruit, if you, as you can imagine it. And then lastly, you cannot pick more than 2 from the same category. But before that, we got to do a small. So we don't actually know what the draft order is. We kept it hidden, or more so, we haven't picked it yet, just to make sure that everybody was kind of on fair ground, on equal grounds. So let me pull that up. But anyway, if you guys can see, I don't know, I'll zoom in some more. The actual top 4 will be myself, then Tommy, then Don, then Grant.
This shit makes so to me, man.
I think Grant picked last time, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
Yes. This is back-to-back picks and him picking last.
So suspicious.
That is the draft order as of right now. So I'm on the clock, which give me just a second to gather myself, because I'll be honest with you, when we do things like this, or I mean any kind of fancy draft, I never ever get the first pick. So I actually wasn't prepared. I was actually prepping all day, thinking I would not get the first pick. So now I'm in a bind. Let me pull up the graphic that we'll be using to show the draft and keeping up with it. So we'll be updating this board as we go. So bear with me. So with the number 1 draft pick in the Devil Fruit Draft.
I know what this shit is, man.
I know what this shit is.
I already know, man.
No, I guarantee you don't. Well, maybe you do. But I thought to myself, going to the draft, and Don kind of said it earlier, that if in One Piece there's a lot of powerful Logia fruits. They're like, that's one of the reasons why we even put the rule in that you only can pick 2 fruits from the same category, because it seemed like obviously almost everybody's gonna pick a bunch of Logia fruits. Maybe not, but that, just to keep that from happening, that's why we put that rule in place. With that being said, I think there's more Logia. I think there's gonna be some good Logias left later on down the line. So I'm not even gonna. My first pick isn't even a Logia fruit.
Fuck.
It's a Paramecia fruit.
Fuck.
It's over.
I'm picking the op fruit, aka the fruit that Law uses. One of the most powerful fruits in One Piece. One of the most destructive fruits in One Piece.
What happened to say
that allowed Law to pierce Big Mom, who before Wano, people said had never taken any damage ever.
Yeah, it's been more over than it is now.
The doctor and the group getting the Surgeon of Death's fruit is, I can't even hate on that. I get that.
I can't believe it's my life.
If your fruit, like when we get to the end, if your fruits look crazy, I might say it's draft rigged. But until then, I'm gonna keep it to myself.
No. So that is number 1 fruit. Also, give me just a second, because I also realized I have not actually typed in the draft order onto the big board. So Jordan. Then who I said was second?
Tommy,
you're on the clock, and while I'm filling in the draft board, feel free to make your pick. I'll update the board as we go.
So, I was a little taken aback at my previous draft's response. While I still believe in my team, I think I definitely want to change up my draft style a little. And you see a heavy hitter, you got to go for a heavy hitter. Listed as the most destructive of all of the Logias, gotta go with a basic but overall fantastic pick. Give me the magma fruit, Akainu's fruit.
Magma fruit, number 1. Hold on, Don. Talk to me. How you feel about this pick? How you think it's a Logia fruit, but it's not one I would think would be the number 1 draft pick. Super destructive, but all the same. What do you think, Don?
I think that is the best Logia, personally. So I get it. Yeah, I think that's a really great fruit. It's in a dog's hands. I'm really glad Akainu has it all of them, even though it's fuck that nigga. But yeah, that's a very respectable pick. Now, with my first overall draft pick, I gotta give it to somebody. RP to this man. He had it first. And the shystest nigga got it now. He was on my team beforehand. I gotta get the Tremor fruit. The power to destroy the world. What I think is probably the strongest Paramecia.
You know what's so crazy? I don't know why I did it. I guess because I think of earthquakes is natural, kind of like a Logia fruit. So in my mind, when I was making my draft board, I put the Tremor fruit as a Logia fruit. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why my brain did that. That was dumb. But that's a great pick. That's a tremendous pick. Grant, how do you feel about the back-to-back picks taken from Tom and taken by Don?
Oh, we got some for that shit. Don't fret. We got some for that.
Grant been ready.
Oh yeah. This spin back finna be fucking crazy. And you know what? Let me start out by saying this. Wouldn't you love a devil fruit that can honestly do so much? And the mystery behind it is crazy, but when we see it in action, we see what we could do. Give me, what's the name of the damn fruit, man? The Yami no Mi. But I got some. Let me know when I need to spin back.
So let's stop. So Tommy, talk to me. So Grant has just chosen to choose the dark fruit, the fruit wielded by Blackbeard. How do you feel about this pick being the number 4th pick in the draft? Do you think it should have been higher? Or do you think this is just about where it should be?
I think it's about where it is, just because we don't know much of it. I call it the hater fruit because it literally just doesn't let any other devil fruits have their ability. Cause the Ace's downfall. Also can create a black hole. I feel like everyone kind of forgets that's something that it can do. That's in its power set. So I mean, I think it's a great pick. I can't be mad at that at all.
It was definitely number 1 on my Logia board, in terms of Logia fruits I was going to pick, simply because, like you said, it's a neutralizer. If we talking about in a world where devil fruits are so important, or so, everybody needs one, everybody wants one, it'd be nice to have somebody in your crew who could neutralize all that. Now, of course, it's a drawback to having double the damage stacked on you. You take a physical attack, but if that's, like I said, if you got him as your support, that's an equalizer on the battlefield. Then it's a bare knuckle brawl after that. So I like it. I like the pick, Grant. That's a good pick. Now I gotta think about what my I gotta think on my
I think this next pick is going to break some parts.
I just want to say the dark fruit is considered the most evil. So you now are a part of unethical bald niggas.
Hey man,
we always do that though.
I'll be that.
We always do that though.
We talk about this man so much and his devil fruit and how insane it is. We talk about his value, and what if this devil fruit was in somebody else's hands? The amount of power it possesses and its versatility at that. That's the big thing here. Give me the one the only pawpaw fruit, nigga.
The pawpaw fruit. This is another great pick from Grant. Another very multi-dimensional fruit, if I do say so myself. The fruit that's wielded by Kuma, that allows him to create like atomic bombs with his paws, like able to transfer pain, able to make people travel at the speed of light. Like there's technically nothing we have not seen this fruit be able to do. Don, talk to us.
Grant sneezed all in his hand. I'm gonna be honest. I had the pawpaw fruit on my draft board because that is a wonderful fruit. Now, I definitely did not think that it was going to be drafted this high. I definitely think there are better fruits that are still available. But because it's not even like Kuma didn't show the potential. Like it's not even like one of those things where I'd be like, if this was in somebody's better hand, this would be raw. Like Kuma has shown this shit hit. It's just he's a martyr. So. But yeah, it's a fantastic pick. It's something I probably would have picked later, but I understand. It's a great combination with the darkness fruit. Because imagine, boom, your darkness fruit taking double the damage, and then your pawpaw fruit just smack the damage, whatever damage he took, just smack it out of him. Like that's kind of hard.
Not even that. If I'm in a bind and we getting our ass whooped, I was gonna be like, all right, peace out, niggas. But the thing is, though, I got 3 more picks to fill out the rest of my team.
You do. You absolutely do.
Yeah,
I got 4.
Work. You picked 2. You got 3 left.
So for my second pick, there are a lot of Zoans. But there are not a lot of mythical Zoans. And we all know the legend. We all know the legend. The fish climbs up the waterfall and turns into a dragon. And I would like to do the fish fruit model Azure dragon. I think it is the strongest Zoan, as far as we know, that is not spoiler related. So I feel like it's only right I pair the strongest Paramecia with the strongest Zoan. It can, it gives him the ability to fly. He can turn into a whole dragon or the half dragon, half man thing. He can make his body 1,000 degrees. He got flame breath. Like it's something you wouldn't really assume that is as versatile as it is, and it does so many things.
And I'd say that's like the cool part, or at least that's the sell, like the thing that you sell with mythical fruits is that they aren't just you're just turning into that animal. Like you usually are given like other abilities, kind of similar. Like you kind of have some Logia powers, like the fact he's able to breathe fire.
He can make tornadoes.
He can make tornadoes. He can, you know what I'm saying? Like he isn't just an animal who bites and punches hard. He's able actually to create elements and manipulate elements and things of that nature. Like that's what makes mythical fruits special.
I do think it's funny how the last draft I had Blackbeard and Kaido, and now I got both their fruits in this draft. I do not want somebody to go in this comment section and be like, "Those represent me. Those are not my people."
Nah, I mean, at a certain point, Don, those are your people.
It's not my people.
You chose them and their will.
I went to school with them. I was not hanging out with them. I just went to school.
You respected them from afar.
Yeah. We played on the same basketball team. That was it.
You're like, them dudes get into shit after the games, but like,
they went to the fish tables. I wasn't a part of that.
Okay. Tommy, talk to me, my boy. What fruit are you gonna follow up with this mythical Zoan? What are you following up with? You already have the magma fruit, the most, in terms of the most powerful Logia. What are you choosing to follow that up with?
So, the way I draft in fantasy football, I'm going with this to somewhere. I like to double up normally. Usually for me, it's wide receiver if I'm in a PPR league. So I'll usually go back to back with wide receivers. The fruit that can let you be the fastest wide receiver, even though it belongs to someone who is admittedly a little slow upstairs. I'm not endorsing the Marines, by the way, but I think the potential of the light fruit is someone who actually cares about their job is getting a lot done with the light fruit, the fastest of the Logias, and also, speed of light. There's nothing faster than that. Give me the light fruit.
An excellent pick. Another heavy hitter fruit. Tommy does endorse the Marines, though. Do not let him fool you.
False accusations.
Accusations.
That's a great pick, though. It was also, I think that was, where was it on mine? I think that was my second rated Logia after the dark fruit. LOL. Especially being, you basically become the Flash. Essentially, like, you can't be touched. Laser beams, which is cool ability to have. So high offensive output while also being incredibly quick on the defensive end. I think that's a superb pick.
The only thing I think is the downside of that fruit is I don't think you can like it seemed like he had to move in a horizontal pattern. Like you remember when he was using the fruit in the Sabaody and he was like going like kind of in a zigzag. Like I don't think he could hit a sharp turn if he needed to. But still, when you move faster than light, you could.
Yeah, because you move at the speed of light. Like, do you need to? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you move at the speed of light, do you need to be turning abrupt corners? Because if you move at the speed of light, you're at your destination in like.
I don't know if anybody's seen that new One Piece movie, but him and Shanks was going. They was going at it. They were going at it for a little bit.
I need to see it. Stream film red. So I'm on the clock, and I just realized I get back-to-back picks, which is perfect. It would have been more perfect if I actually got to pick the fruits I actually wanted, but it's fine. So like I said earlier, I thought to myself, like, there's going to be better Logia fruits down the line still available, so I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to use my first two picks on a Logia. So I said, but I got to get a Zoan in, because it's not a lot of, to me, it's not a lot of great Zoans. After a certain point, you practically just picking the same fruit over, more or less, unless you're getting mythical Zoans. So that's why I decided for my number two pick in the second round, which is the 8th pick in the draft, I'm taking the Phoenix fruit from Marco, a fruit that lets you be a mythical being that has some high offensive output, but also has incredible regenerative abilities. Same reason why I picked him in my last draft. It just has some great upside that, while also being a super supportive A type fruit. So Marco's Devil Fruit is my 8th pick.
You really got two Dr. Fruits. I'm watching you.
Come on, man.
That boy about to drive Chopper Fruit at the last pick. That's gonna be his. That's gonna be his kicker.
The human fruit. Grant, how you feel about that pick? Talk to me, man.
Grant ain't worried. Grant like he not moving.
Our car was passing and it was loud as fuck, but we got something for that. Don't worry, I came prepared.
Okay. So Tommy, we are 2 rounds in. Before I make my next pick, talk to me, my boy. How are you feeling about your team, and how are you feeling about how the board is playing out? Is it going about the way you expected, or you're a little worried?
I'm kind of seeing generally how I thought it would go. I thought Marco would fall in the 3rd round. He was actually going to be my 3rd round pick, so you got the steal there. But one thing that I am a little worried about, right now, there's not a lot of Zoans left, but I think there's a lot of room for Paramecias, and if you're able to justify a weird Paramecia, that could change the game. So I think there's a lot of room for creativity if you're able to break it down and give supporting evidence.
Side note, I think it's hilarious that Marco's fruit looks like a pineapple, and that was the description Luffy needed to remember who the hell he was.
Facts. I'm just gonna zoom in real quick second so people can see all the fruits. So you have me with the op fruit, the Phoenix fruit. You got Tommy with the magma fruit, the glint fruit. You got Don with the tremor fruit mixed with the the goldfish, mythical fruit. I can't remember the exact name for
Azor Dragon. Let's be respectful.
the Zord
Let's
Dragon.
be respectful.
And then we got the dark fruit and the pawpaw fruit for as Grant's 2 picks. Now I'm on the clock. I have the next pick in the 3rd round. I'll be kicking this bad baby off. So looking at my board, and I wish I could have more time to think about this, because isn't it, like Tommy said, he's playing out how he thought it would. At the same time, it's not quite. I thought I was gonna be able to get a couple of the fruits that you guys have managed to snag. I thought y'all would downplay some of them, but because I couldn't get the glint fruit, which is the light fruit, I'll go for the next best thing. Give me the rumble fruit, which will allow me, because lightning is light, can move at the speed of light, but I feel like its the offensive output might be even greater than like a laser beam, given the fact that he's able to summon freaking lightning from the sky and at will and teleport, practically teleport. Of course, like I said, unlike the light fruit, it has the weakness of being, weak to rubber. But as long as I don't run into nobody who's made of rubber, I ain't got no problems. So that's what I'm picking. I'm picking Enel's fruit. Y'all boys speechless?
Nah, I'm praying. In my mind, I'm praying to Oda right now because I'm hoping Tommy don't draft what I want.
Oh, okay, that's how you. All you thinking is I'm glad nobody picked the fruit I wanted. Okay.
That's what I'm thinking right now because I got some. We almost there.
Same. I got some shit ready.
So, okay.
But I do like the pick.
I'm about to say, that's all I want to know. Do you like the pick or do you not like the pick? I get you not worried. I know everybody here thinking like, okay, it's fine. I'm gonna get the fruit I want. Tommy, how do you feel? Because I know you're an esteemed member of the Skypea, fan club, the Enel boys. Come on, man, talk to me.
I mean, I gotta respect the pick, man. I can't really get mad at that. If you skipped Skypea, I'm sorry, but you kind of folded there. But real ones know where good storytelling is at, and that's one of the best fruits pre-time skip. Gotta give it to you.
People who skip Skypea are not respected around these parts.
I just don't see how you watched all the arcs up to that point, and then you watched Skypea and thought this is just way worse.
And it's crazy because it's like I watched Skypea and I was like, this is kind of boring, but it was like One Piece boring. Like it wasn't like this is like in a grand scheme of things. If I'm comparing it to other arcs from other shows, it was wonderful. But it was just because it came off of Alabasta that I'm like, all right, this is kind of boring. It was like I said, it was just One Piece boring. Like compared to what I had just seen, it was a little toned down at the beginning. And Luffy was stuck in a snake for like 10 episodes.
I would have thought that. I mean, yeah, stuff like that happen every episode. I mean, every arc. I would have felt like a I don't know. I just felt like there was other moments that were like very slow. Well, I say them before they got to Skypea, it was incredibly slow. Like them figuring out how to get there, that was slow. After they got there, I'm like, oh, I'm intrigued because like it was.
Nah, Luffy walking down on Bellamy was like one of my favorite parts in the whole show. That boy said, that boy said, I know you're not talking about my people. He just met them the other day. He said, I know you're not talking about my people.
That's where they introduced Blackbeard, Whitebeard, Gorosei, Doflamingo, Kuma. It was a huge lore dump, and then they were also like on the side, like trying to figure out how to get to the island. So that whole part of the story is fire.
It's fire. I was saying.
Luffy said, "I will be back before we depart. I gotta go whoop his ass." Just raw.
All right,
respectable.
Let's knock out these next 3 picks and get to the 4th round. Tommy, talk to my boy. What is your 3rd pick? What is?
All right, the one Zoan that I forgot about, and I think a lot of people forget about because he's not that active in the story. But when he was very feared. One of the only people to hold down Garp to prevent him from doing anything.
I fucking hate your ass.
Model Buddha. Give me the Buddha fruit.
I fucking hate you, nigga. Oh my god.
The Buddha fruit. That's an excellent pick. It was actually on my draft board. I was so certain that nobody would even think about that as a Zoan because I was like, okay, what if the guys are wise enough, to draft a lot of Zoan fruits first, and then I don't even get the Phoenix fruit. That was going to be my pick. It was going to be the Buddha fruit. Excellent pick. All right, Don, you're on the clock. What is your pick?
Well, I think it's time to handle my Paramecia, so I don't have to worry about it later. I have to pick someone's fruit. She is a dog. She controlled a whole nation with her power. She could take the souls from other people and put them in other things. She could take your soul and add it to her lifespan. Give me Big Mom's fruit, the soul fruit.
An excellent pick. I ain't gonna stunt. So I actually thought about the soul fruit, and I had it rated high on my draft board. But when I picked it, when I was thinking about it, I thought to myself like, okay, but what if people aren't afraid of you? So then your fruit doesn't work as well. But we did say at the beginning of this, you have to assume that the person who uses the fruit would get max value out of the fruit.
I would assume my crew be strong enough to whoop somebody's ass, and then they be scared of them. Because that's all you need. If you whoop somebody's ass, they're gonna be scared of you.
But even outside of being the fear factor, like you consider stuff she was doing against like Law and Kid in their fight, like bring the sword to life, having the cloud, the sun, like it's a versatile.
She owned a whole nation off the strength of her fruit.
Like
a whole nation, a place where no one wanted to go.
Like, and because people were scared of her. But like, and I'll say this, when like Jinbei was like, "Oh yeah, I'm not afraid of you," I'm like, "Oh, her fruit really ain't that big and bad, and people aren't afraid of her." And she proved me wrong. She showed a myriad of different uses, and that's what you need in a draft. You need to pick fruits that give you a lot of different looks, a lot of different value, which is why the alfalfa fruit was my number one choice, because it's like a fruit that can do a bunch of different things. So anyway, on to the next one. Grant's on the clock. He got 2 back-to-back picks. Grant, finish the third round and take us to the fourth round. What are you picking?
So y'all basically picked my next 2 picks, bruh. The sugar pick is like a hard rip, because that shit is like so over fucking powered. But for my next pick, I am going to finish out my 3 required. Give me King's Devil Fruit.
King's Devil Fruit. So Grant is choosing King's Devil Fruit as his Zoan pick. An interesting. Grant, talk to us. Talk me through that.
That man's a bird.
Why King's Fruit?
I mean, to be fair, like that's probably like one of the best Zoans still left on the board right now. Because to be fair, the Zoans are kind of top heavy for the most part.
Yeah.
And then why would I go with a mythical one? So for my 4th pick, why not make this interesting? Why would I fight with somebody when I can rip their soul out their body? Give me Big Mom Fruit.
How you get that? And I got it.
Yep.
Wait, you didn't book shit?
How?
He chose. You misheard him, Grant. He said Big Mom Fruit.
You thought I dropped the Brooks?
Give me sugar.
He said sugar.
So if I give me King for 3rd fruit and then give me sugar for 4th, then
Okay. Yeah.
Are we okay? Now this is also a thing that I was considering. Are we considering that with fruits like that, if your hockey is strong enough, you will not turn into a toy? Or because everyone she touched turned into a toy in the story, we're kind of just under assumption that like there's nothing you could really do about that. Because with Perona, everyone she touched turned depressed except Usopp for narrative reasons.
I think
at that point they didn't know how to use hockey though.
I think Sugar
at that point did not know how to use hockey.
I think Sugar is a glass cannon. So basically, like, hey, if you can get to her and knock her ass out, you good. Like that's literally the only way you can stop her fruit, is that she has to be unconscious, if I'm not mistaken. Or you just somehow, I think it's only being unconscious.
I think
if she's unconscious, it takes away like the power, or everyone unturned into a toy. But that junk it has a great pick. In all honesty, based on what we know, it's a fantastic pick. It was not on my draft board because I didn't know how we were going to apply it, but that's a fantastic pick.
I could have sworn I thought you picked Sugar, man. My bad.
No, I think that it's a safe assumption to assume that it will not work on people whose hockey is greater than that's greater
Greater than
than
theirs.
the greater than hers, because that's how other devil fruits work. We've seen other devil fruits were like, well, this doesn't work on me because um this will work on me because I have this devil, I have a higher grade hockey. That's why some law stuff didn't work on Big Mom, and that's why Big Mom technically couldn't take the souls from like. Well, that was why she couldn't take the souls from like Law and Kia. But we've seen that with a lot of different fruits.
But to be fair, like with sugar, hers can basically be like crowd control if you really need to be. So like, oh, sugar, you go turn on in a what you call it. Okay, we can get to the real enemy then.
Who is next on the board? Is it Don?
It is me. I think I'm going to have.
1 second. I know the board on the left is a little like not updated right now, but that's solely because I'm struggling to find a picture of King's fruit.
Just put a picture of King if you can't find it.
I think that's what I'm about to do. I think I'm about to just put NC King One Piece. Grant, I'm so surprised anybody picked him. That might be why they can't find a damn picture of it. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, this is a funny looking picture of him. I'm gonna use this. All right, Don. Go ahead, Don. Go ahead and proceed with giving us your pick.
I'm struggling right now between if I want to draft my Logia. Excuse me. I do want a Lugia. If I want to draft my Logia, or if I want to draft my final Zoan, because there certainly is a better Zoan than King's Fruit left on the board. And I think I'm gonna go with my Zoan because again, it is not that many of them shits left. And I still think it is some really good Logias left, and I think it will be one by the time we get to the end. So, for my last pick, give me the Yamato's fruit.
I love how you said the Yamato fruit because literally in my notes, I was sitting there like writing out the actual names for a lot of different fruits, and I literally just wrote Yamato fruit for her. I don't know what she turns into. I don't know.
She turns into a dog. It's a
what kind of dog? You know what I'm saying?
It's a hold on. I'm about to find it.
It's a Okuchi.
It's that dog that's got a game after it.
Oh, like why am I drawing? Come on, Tommy.
Tommy?
What is it?
It's the Inu no Mi model Akuchi no Maki.
Yeah, I know exactly the game you're talking about. It's like the white dog.
Okama.
Yes. Is Grant okay? Did he? We didn't really address it, but is Grant okay? I wasn't looking at the screen. I was like looking for the damn devil fruit.
I could just hear him.
I thought there was somebody in the background coughing. I didn't know it was actually Grant coughing up a storm like that.
Yeah, I choked on some fruit. Went down the wrong pipe. I'm sorry.
Fruit went down the wrong. That's a real devil fruit. All right. Anyway, Tommy, you are now on the board. It is now your pick. You've been a little silent, so I feel like you've been sitting here really contemplating what your next big pick will be. Hit me, my boy. What are you thinking? What is your next devil fruit?
I gotta go with something that's first off, I like the wild card pick from Grant with the hobby fruit. I think that is the most terrifying devil fruit in all of One Piece by a comfortable margin. So gotta respect that. I gotta go with probably the next most terrifying thing.
Who is unplugging a laptop?
On the hunt for it. Blackbeard was on the hunt for it, and he didn't get it because he likes to run away when the going gets tough. But give me Boa Hancock's fruit, the Mero Mero no Mi.
I had that on my draft board, and now I have to ask you this question, Tommy, because you have to assume that you get this fruit at its peak, but who would you give this fruit to and have them in your crew to make sure it works at all times? That's my question.
Well,
You
it
know what?
depends because I think it's the way it works is the strongest, emotional, visceral reaction to seeing something. So
Mm,
in the story, it's used for who is called the most beautiful woman in the world, and that works really well because a lot of people see her and they're turned to stone. You probably do
yes.
that the same thing for if you have the most handsome guy on the world on your crew, or
Mm.
you could use it for like the most disgusting person on your crew and give it to them. And if everyone's so disgusted by them, then they turn to stone too. So it's a case by case basis.
That is an interesting interpretation, and I think you might be right. I've never heard anybody say that about the fruit. I had to go back and check that out. But I just thought I thought it'd be a funny soundbite. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was like, I'm gonna get whoever picks that fruit to tell me, all right, who you want to have that fruit though. All right, but you got your stuff out of a really smart answer. All right. So with that being said, yeah, I'm now on the board. It's my turn to pick. A lot of different fruits that you guys have said have been higher up on the list for me. Yamato was a sleeper, Don. I ain't thinking about I was gonna pick her. I was like, that was another like backup plan if I didn't get the Phoenix fruit, because that's a mythical fruit that has a lot of different powers. Like she's able to like command ice and shit like that. All inspiring. But since I cannot, actually, I really don't know which direction I want to go in. Actually, because I'm actually about to finish my team. I just realized that I want to make these back-to-back picks. I will have all 5 fruits. I think I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go. Man, it's tough. I can't. Okay, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it with the number 4 pick. I'm going to take another Logia fruit. I don't rock with the Marines. That's why I waited so late to even, give this fruit attention. But I'm gonna choose the ice fruit from
It's
Akiji.
over.
Someone who can freeze the ocean, which would be a hot commodity when you consider like One Piece. Like, think about it. You trying to get away in your ship, which is the main mode of travel for everyone, and then the entire ocean around you is frozen. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to hide. It's also good use it in a way to evade. If like, you need to run away, you can freeze the ocean, and they cannot pursue you. And then they had to get out on foot and leave their ship behind. So also, let's say one of the most powerful fruits is a fruit that made the owner of the magma fruit, which is number 1, which was the second fruit taken. He didn't beat him, but he made him work. So that is a powerful fruit.
To be honest, I don't know how that fruit fails. I mean, I kind of see like the way we've been drafting. I see how it fails so far, but also that fruit is great. Like when the very first instance we seen it, he froze the ocean so people could walk, and he said you'll probably get there in 3 days. So
that's incredible. Dog.
Whatever amount of water he froze a very, very unfathomably large part of it. He stopped the quake fruit from going stupid in Marineford because he froze the boats. Like that's whatever tsunami Whitebeard was gonna make if Aokiji was not there, they was cooked. So I like that. I'm excited to see your 5th one.
I'm gonna zag real hard, and I'll admit that this y'all might look at me like I'm crazy, but I think I'm making a smart pick here. I'm gonna take the venom fruit that was wielded by Magellan and impaled down. That is technically, I looked it up. That is technically a paramecium fruit. He was not a Logia. He was a paramecium. He actually had a physical form that could be touched. It's just the fact that he had so much poison. Now, why do I choose that fruit? It doesn't seem, you think like, okay, that's somebody from the pre-time skip, but he was a formidable opponent, and he showed us why. Because hockey does not negate poison. When we saw Luffy get poisoned in the beginning of Whole Cake Island, had to be saved by Sanji's sister. Poison almost killed Luffy. Luffy at Whole Cake Island almost died from poison if it wasn't for Sanji's sister. Poison is an incredible, potent thing in One Piece, and I might be wrong, but I don't think that hockey would negate poison being given to you. So with that being said, also when you think about, hey, he wiped out Blackbeard's entire crew. He wiped out Blackbeard's entire crew in one hit. Like before Blackbeard even had a chance to like absorb anything, which he did end up absorbing it, and that's what ended up, keeping him from dying. But he really did put all of them in a blender at once. So I'm going with the venom fruit as my last fruit. That's it. Final answer.
I also like that. I honestly, I was just looking. Literally, as soon as you said that, I was looking at the strengths and weaknesses of that fruit, and I was like, "Damn, I would have drafted that." But you got to spend time in the bathroom a long time. But from what I was reading, that is only a Magellan thing, and that is not a fruit-based issue. It's just Magellan likes. It's just you can't process. You're immune to poison, but you can't process poison. And Magellan likes putting poison in his food. So that is an incredible Paramecia pick. Incredible. Cannot hate on it.
Preach. Which I don't know if I can find a picture of that fruit, but I'm working on it. With that being said, Tommy, now I kind of have an idea what you're gonna pick for your final fruit. But humor me. What are you picking?
Humor is the name of the game here, man. I got called out last draft for having some silly, goofy picks. I gotta go with the silliest, the goofiest of guys from the silliest goofy arc in One Piece, which is certainly saying something. This is definitely a fruit that in the wrong hands can be used very poorly, but in the right hands, this thing's actually kind of broken. I'm very happy that it made it all the way here. Give me the Nora no Mi, the slow fruit from Foxy.
I actually did not think that's what you were going to pick, but after you start talking, I'm like, of course Tommy picked this fruit. He talks about it all the time. Grant, tell me.
So, Foxy,
I ain't heard your beautiful voice in a while.
It's good.
Sorry, I was fighting for my life, but this is definitely a Tommy ass fruit. But like always, we got some shit for that.
People talk about skipping parts of One Piece. I'm gonna tell you what, I've never been want to tell people to skip things, but when I was at friends who want to say, hey, what do I absolutely do not have to watch, I would tell them to skip the filler, and I would tell them to skip this arc.
I be telling people to skip that shit. I can't lie to you. I'm not a proponent of skipping things in One Piece, but I feel like if you can skip anything, that shit does not do nothing. And it's like people be like, oh, it introduces Aokiji, but it's also like you see him in like 5 episodes after that, so it's not even.
You know what's so funny? I always tell people to skip to the episode where Aokiji shows up, and you're not confused by not watching the rest of it. Like,
bro, you good. I'll be telling people do not watch that, please.
No, Tommy, I'm sorry.
I'll tell somebody to watch a filler before I tell somebody to watch that Davey back fight.
Yeah, I don't know because I haven't watched it in so long. Because I watched that back like when I was in like middle school, high school still, and I do not remember why I did not like that arc so much. But I legitimately was like, yeah, you know what? I'm never gonna watch this. So. It's cool. So Don, you're on the clock. Give me the last pick.
I feel like I'm set tripping by picking this because everything in me wants to pick the fire fruit because I love Ace, and I love the superior version of him in Sabo. But I have not drafted a Logia, and I feel like it is a better Logia on the board still. We have not seen much of it, just because when we did see it, he got scared off by a real man in Shanks. Give me the Mori no Mi, the wood fruit, or the woodman fruit that turns you to a forest man. The one that what's his name got? Admiral
Green Bull
got. He was let me see all that he was doing. He can make a leaf helicopter. He made himself fireproof. Like he said, you could basically train yourself to be fireproof. He stole the energy of the people of all of Kaido's crew. Like, I think that fruit is absolutely insane. The fact that you can make a forest fruit immune to fire is OP. I think it's disgusting. again, I feel really bad for set tripping. I did not. I wanted to pick the fire fruit so bad, but I think that's just a little bit better.
Earlier when I was talking about getting the admiral fruit, I feel like your eyes got big. 'Cause I thought I realized that now that you were actually thinking about that fruit was gonna get picked. But,
Yeah, I definitely thought you was about to pick that. Because if you would have picked that, I would have just picked the fire fruit. But I was like, damn, he about to pick the fire. I mean, he about to pick the woodman fruit, and I'm gonna be sick. I think that fruit is underrated. Again,
I do think it's underrated simply because what Shanks did to scare him might have influenced how I felt about the fruit itself, and also the whole being immune to fire. I missed that tidbit, so that's definitely
because you remember when the Straw Hats are about to go fight him, but Yamato went instead, and Luffy and them were kind of sitting like, should we handle that? And they were like, nah, like they got it. And then so Yamato started breathing fire on him, and he was like, he was freaking out a little bit, and he was like, I'm good. Like I trained myself to be immune to that. Like I'm straight. So, and then that's when Shanks scared him after.
Okay, no. And also like being able to absorb people's like life force, like that's underrated too. Like I kind of just forgot that he did that shit. But anyway, Grant, last pick of the draft, the number 20th pick is in your hands. I see you scrolling through your notes, trying to figure out exactly what you want to pick for this last devil fruit. The ball is in your court. You had a phenomenal draft up to this point. I'm excited to see what you end up picking. So Grant, how do you close out this draft?
So there's definitely a lot of. I think this pick is going to get a lot of backlash if I pick it, and the reason why is that when you think about it, yes, it's combat use. Well, I'm not going to even say its combat use isn't even crazy, even bad, because the amount of shit that you could really do with it is kind of insane. If you talk about its full potential, I was gonna pick Fujitori's fruit with the press fruit or whatever you want to call it, but why not give me a fruit that basically, in the right hand, honestly, not in the right hands, whatever I wanted to do, I could become a master at it if I just get the information. But give me the brain fruit.
The brain. That's what. Yo, I never thought of. I didn't even have it on my board.
Because seriously, when you sit there and think about it, all the experience from the battles you have, you never forget it. Oh, you read something, you see something, you store that shit, and all the knowledge kind of just piles up with each other, blah 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 blah, all that type of stuff. And even then, Vegapunk was able to
make devil fruits.
Not only make devil fruits, create alter egos of himself, have them everywhere, and most importantly, create a fucking army of creatures that got crazy ass DNA and are able to give certain people a run for their money. Because when you think about it, like even if he's not on the battlefield, well, even then, if it's just Vegapunk, that's one thing. But like, if you get that you can get that to any. What if you gave that to like a fucking Marine or something like shit? A nigga that can actually like a nigga that can fight. Them niggas store up all sorts of knowledge of fighting techniques, all that shit. Like its upside is just so high, and I think why not just start in this draft with an extremely wacky pick.
Whoever you give that fruit to, just gonna be Batman.
Yeah, I mean, it's above Batman because Batman wasn't making the stuff Vegapunk was making. You know what I'm saying? So it's beyond that. I mean, unless you give it to somebody who's like uber powerful, then they would be Batman in that instance. Like, but it's like having imagine Garp with that fruit. You know what I'm saying? With also having the gadgets and stuff that come along with it. I guess that would be like Batman. That's insane. But I don't know. I think it's a cool pick.
It is a cool pick. Something I would have never considered. I honestly forgot that he had a devil fruit.
Yeah, I just thought it was smart.
Because we haven't seen Egghead in so long, but that is a really good fruit.
Okay. So that concludes the devil fruit draft. So I'm just gonna make the big board bigger. So you guys, everybody at home can see. So with my team or the collection of fruits I picked up, the op fruit held by law. I got the phoenix fruit. I got the lightning fruit. I have the ice fruit. And then I have the venom fruit, poison fruit. Tommy has the magnum fruit, the light fruit. He then has, remind me what that third fruit is, Tommy. I'm drawing a blank on that. What you picked there?
The Buddha fruit.
The Buddha fruit. Then there's the Medusa fruit. I think that's what it's called, from Boa Hancock. And then he has a slow fruit. Don chose the Quake fruit. He chose the Azure Dragon model fruit. He chose the drawing a blank on what this pink fruit.
So the soul fruit that Big Mom got.
Soul fruit from Big Mom. The fourth fruit is
the big dog fruit that Yamato got. That's what I'm calling it.
Yamato, big dog fruit from Yamato. And then he took the Woodman fruit. Then Grant has the dark fruit. He has the paw fruit. He has the hobby fruit, which lets him turn people into toys. He has King's fruit, the pterodactyl fruit, and he has the brain fruit, which funny enough, it's kind of oddly fitting for Grant. So that's the draft.
Wait, before we go, I want to talk about some of the things that did not get drafted. So
go ahead.
The gum fruit did not get drafted. The
string fruit.
The string fruit did not get drafted. Bartolomeo's fruit did not get drafted. And that was honestly something that I thought I would draft last, because that's probably the best defensive devil fruit we've seen. That has not been shown to be breakable by any means. I
had bear fruit on my board. I did.
The fire fruit did not get drafted. Fujitora's fruit did not get drafted. Kids fruit did not get drafted.
Anyway,
Katakuri's fruit did not get drafted.
That's just Luffy's fruit, so the Luffy fruit didn't get chosen. It makes sense.
Crocodile's fruit did not get drafted.
Nah.
The chop fruit did not get drafted, which I honestly think was very underrated, considering the fact that nothing can cut you. I think that's just in a terrible nigga hands.
I mean, but then somebody punch you.
You know who fruit would be fucking broken in the new world if they really know like how to fight and shit? What's them two people? What are those? What's that duo from Baroque Works? The one that had the little bomb thing, and then the other one,
the dude where he flicked boogers on people and they exploded.
I think any part of his body could be, and like,
yeah. And then the girl that could basically
Killer fruit was ass. You can't convince me that.
No. What if you could actually fight with this shit, man?
I think it was ass.
With fight experience, okay.
It was ass. The swamp fruit did not get drafted. I think that is very useful for Cruz. He could store anything in that junk. The clear fruit did not get drafted.
I mean, it makes you invisible. So like, if you just using that fruit to best abilities, you can't be seen. But like, if it's given to somebody who isn't like really strong,
sure, like
the gas fruit did not get drafted, and that shit almost killed Luffy.
That's true. I mean, I chose venom, the poison fruit, for the same reason.
And then the last fruit that I don't think any of us would have really thought of. It was on my draft board. It was something that I probably would have picked last if I had not drafted two, or had not got a chance to draft two Zoans earlier. The snake fruit that freaky nigga had that helped Kaido take Orochi. The fact that you have to kill him 9 times before he's dead is like, it's basically a better version of Brooks fruit. Like, if you put that in the right person's hands, that fruit honestly would be disgusting. Like, imagine having to kill somebody like Garp 9 times, or even somebody like, who's somebody else who don't have, even if you give it to somebody like Kobe. Like, Kobe don't have no devil fruit, but if you had to kill him 9 times, that would be annoying.
I'm telling you a fruit that nobody thought of, or at least maybe I thought of it. I just didn't say it. But Moria's fruit, the taking people's shadows, putting it in people, fruit, people died. They don't have their shadow.
Damn, you right.
I did not think about that.
He was on my
And
platform.
and if you get your shadow stolen and you get exposed to the sun, you are fucking cooked.
That's actually
basically
that should have went like top 10
Big Mom's
realistically.
fruit. As it like, that was a nice. That would have been a good.
He really had an army of dead people, and had he not been an out of shape Royce White, he would have been fire. He would have been crazy.
Okay, but all right. Appreciate everybody who tuned into the Devil Fruit Draft. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you didn't check out the Power Crew Draft, we had a draft picking the best Power Crew. It was the same 4 people, the same 4 GMs. Make sure you guys tune in and check that out. It's on our YouTube, on the Posse page. Make sure you follow us on all our socials. Make sure you check out Paragon Don on all your streaming platforms. Make sure you check out SoFlo Sound website. Make sure you guys check out all of Tommy's incredible work he does over there. Also check out the Groovy Files. Check out the Grant and the great, beautiful music stuff he does over there as well. Make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Drop comments. Let us know who you think had the best team. Let me pull the teams back up. Let us know who you think had the best collection of devil fruits. Yeah, do that. And click the link in the comments. You'll find all our socials. You'll find our Discord channel where we talk about One Piece and all other kinds of manga. Make sure you guys join us there. Join our Discord as well. With that being said, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Y'all stay easy. Stay collecting devil fruits. We out.